Welcome everybody. Today I'm going to be doing something I didn't think that I'll be doing for quite a while, if maybe never, but that is unboxing the brand new Mac Mini from the 2018 family lineup of new Macs. Now, the new Mac Mini brings with it some interesting new features that have been missing from the predecessors for quite a long time, and that is more than 2 cores in the CPU. This thing sports a 6-core i7 CPU, 3 GHz. Absolutely amazing. It's a real absolute performance increase and performance improvement to the Mac Mini lineup, which has always been sort of lacking in that area despite the versatility of the form factor. It also has 16 gig RAM, this model. Now that was always typically the maximum available on the previous models of Mac Minis, but unlike the previous version, this is actually user upgradable. You can pull the base off this like you could with the previous models. The last one to this, they actually sold it on the board, which is pretty sad really, because then you had to order it with the RAM required and hope that you never had to upgrade it. So you always made sure that you ordered it with the maximum, even if it cost a fortune, you always got with the maximum RAM, which is 16 gig. But this thing can go to 64 gig, which is absolutely incredible for a Mac Mini. The computer in this form factor, 4 gig of DDR4, upgradable, 2 DIMM slots. Comes with a 512 gig SSD, this one. The minimum is 256, you can go up to 2 terabytes, which is actually pretty awesome. We're not going to be looking at it operating today, we're just going to unbox it, and we're literally just going to have a look around the outside of it, check out the ports, that sort of stuff. So bear with me, I'll get at my trusty little flip knife, and we're just going to very carefully slot that open like that, and then close that. It's safe. Take that bit of plastic. The reason why I've got this one today is actually because a customer of mine has actually purchased this and need it for their studio setup. So just like all the previous versions, slides off, and we can lift out the actual machine itself. We'll get to that in a moment. Now, obviously you get a little packet inside which has got the, I guess it will have normal Apple stickers. I wonder if they're space grey. Probably not. Better white stickers you always get with all your Apple devices, the CE certification notice, and a very quick introduction to the machine itself. Nothing unusual, but I want to see what the ports are. This is going to be great. So now we come to the awesome part of this, and that is plastic. That's the best part. That is my favourite part of this. And I must admit, space grey looks fab on the Mac Mini. It is absolutely brilliant. Now, unlike the previous model, which I'll grab here, not the previous model, the previous model, which has the 2 little circles that you can see here for sliding the cover off, and then you can open that up and access the internals, such as upgrading the RAM. The previous model, they removed that because obviously there was no need for it because the RAM wasn't upgradable, so they sealed it. Now, the new model, it's still got the same thing. No finger rings for putting in additional RAM or whatever, but you can still pull these off. You just basically wedge off the base. But we're not going to do that today. We don't need to do it today. What I'm interested in is the ports in the back. And look at that. Well, let me do that again. Take 2. Look at that. Absolutely incredible. So what we have here, we have a massive ventilation opening. This is incredible compared to the previous model, which I'm going to put them side by side here. Previous model, the slot was quite narrow, and this one runs inside of a server room and is on 24/7. It doesn't have a busy life, but it's got enough of a life. It gets warm in that room. That fan has been set to full all the time. It's on 100%. So every 6 months it gets pulled out cleaned. The new one has a fan vent that looks about double the size of the previous one, which is absolutely brilliant. Still got USB 3 ports, which is great. Actually, I think the previous model has USB 3. This one USB 3 ports down to 2. HDMI. Now the HDMI on this is actually 4K. That can do a 4K display unlike the previous ones which couldn't. Then move over, you've got 4 USB-C ports which are also capable of Thunderbolt 3, which is absolutely fantastic. The speeds on them are going to be awesome. Still got power, which is good. Still got the headphone jack, which is an amazing thing to keep, because let's face it, if this is on the desk you want an audio output. The other optional extra, which is an absolutely welcome bonus to the Mac Mini lineup, and this one's actually got, I've ordered this one with it, and it cost extra $160 Australian to get that, and that is 10 gigabit Ethernet. So this Ethernet port is capable of gigabit, 2 gigabit, 5 gigabit and 10 gigabit, which is absolutely fantastic. So if you were to put that into a 10 gigabit switch that's got multiple VLANs on it, you put all the VLANs onto the interface, it's going to be an absolute welcome improvement to networking and performance, especially in the professional end of the market, whether you're doing video and image editing or you're using this in a data center as some kind of server to host, multiple services or VMs. That is an absolute welcome change to the Mac Mini lineup. As we can see before, the form factor has not changed, which is an absolute bonus. They line up the same, they're the same size and the same height, everything about them is the same, which is really, really good. So if you're looking to upgrade but you've got a cage that this thing mounts in, or a shelf or a rack mount, Mac Mini mount kit, or something that basically mounts these machines, rest assured that the form factor is still the same size, all the connectors are still at the rear, the dimensions are the same, the height's the same, everything fits, which is absolutely fantastic. So it's a direct swap out in terms of connectivity and form factor. You don't have to go and buy a new cage or a mount kit. So there we have it, the new Mac Mini, sporting space grey, absolutely beautiful, 10 gigabit Ethernet, USB-C and Thunderbolt 3, absolute magical lineup of improvements to the Mac line. The only downside really, obviously due to the increase in performance, being 6 cores and a much better machine, the entry level price is pretty much double what the previous versions were. They were between $750 and $850 Australian. These things start at over $1,200 Australian, so you're looking at easily 50% more just to start out with a base model, which is a bit of a shame. So I think what you get bang for buck, it is an absolute value machine still. I think it's one of the best machines that Apple have actually got out there, particularly if you're looking for something small, discreet, you can put it in your backpack, take it with you, plug it into the desk, take it home. When you go back home you've got the machine with you, but you don't want a laptop, because laptops maybe not practical for what you want. Maybe you want something that fits inside of a cupboard or on a shelf or in a data center or in a video room, something like that. These things are absolutely a gem for that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.